So the standout footage really has been the unbelievable action, I think, but it's been really cool seeing all the bright colors and everything, and some of the comedy. What would you say are the elements you're most excited about sharing with people when this movie comes out?
Man, I think all of it. You know, I think I really aspired to make a film with all of the various dimensions of a grand film, and so I hope we succeeded in that way. I know that when I watch it, there's not one thing that I love more than another. I like all of it because it's all integral to her story. So that's what I hope. I hope everybody, there's a little of something for everyone.
The CinemaCon footage was packed with both gritty action and also a sense of levity, which is something new to the DC films. How much levity would you say is injected into this by comparison to the Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad movies?
Well, I mean, I think there's funny things in both of those films, but we definitely went for making a funny film. You know, like I was always basing it on Superman 1 and on Indiana Jones, and so I was like, I wanted to make a classic film where you're laughing and then you're in love with them and then they're off on a great adventure. So it's definitely the point in the pursuit of our film.
Cool. Now this is an origin story, but how much would you say some of the extras of this film might rely on knowledge of Batman vs Superman, or can you just come in? Is there any extras that people might be like, oh, cool, that's a tie-in?
There are things here and there, but it's a standalone film. It should succeed to people who have seen Batman vs Superman or not seen anything.
Very cool. Why was Ares the perfect fit for a villain this time around?
I mean, I think he's the biggest villain of Wonder Woman's world, and so I think, you know, if you're going to start off big and start off right with the greatest villain.
What can you say about him as far as your movie's portrayal of the villain?
I think that it was, you know, it was a great delight to place him in the world in a way where he believes in exactly what a real true Ares does, and what kind of havoc would Ares wreak on this planet and how. And, you know, there are some pretty good jobs to put them in for that.
Awesome. And now with all the superhero movies now, they all interconnect and everything. I'm wondering, how collaborative were you with Zack Snyder and Jeff Johns, who's overseeing everything?
Well, so Zack was very busy making Batman vs Superman simultaneous to me making this. So he was very instrumental in the direction that the film was going to take that ended up leading to my signing on, because I know enough about these worlds now that unless we really have a shared vision, it's going to be 2 years of fighting, and who wants that? So I had a very strong feeling of what kind of Wonder Woman film I'd want to make, and when they found themselves in the position where they realized that's what they wanted to make, and that was great thanks to Zack and to Alan Heinberg and to Jeff Johns and everybody, that it ended up where it did. Then I signed on to it, and then Zack was very busy, but always a great support in every way. But Jeff and I became very close in shepherding that all the way to the end.
Very cool. Now my last question for you. I know you did have plans for that Thor movie, and I'm wondering in what ways did your original idea for the Thor movies influence the ideas you got to execute with Wonder Woman?
I mean, they're very similar in a lot of ways. It's a lot of the same questions and a lot of the same struggles that I was interested in Thor's story are here. Although in that case, it was a second movie, so it could never have been as pure and as simple of an arc. So I think it was really meant to be that I ended up doing this one, which I had always wanted to do anyway. And I got to do it in a kind of bigger and purer arc rather than putting it in that other story. Right. Yeah.